This is our second only mastermind, and we're very excited to have Sam Santiago. And as some of you have met, our next mastermind, Jarrett New, who will be speaking. Bravo! Yay, Jarrett. So Jarrett will be here in June. Do not miss it. So I'm Sheri Barbera, and tonight our mastermind speaker is called Arizona Living, and he joined YouTube December 30th, 2016, but didn't really begin to work on his channel seriously until November 2017. So that is not actually a lot of time. In only 18 months, he has over 3,000 subscribers. He has 481,000 views and 242 videos. So that is very, very impressive. His channel features his funny New York sense of humor, his New York perspective on all things Phoenix, Arizona, family vlogs, city tours, house hunting, Phoenix news, dealing with trolls, which some of you probably have dealt with or will deal with when you have a channel, and interviews with other transplants. And one of them is here, so that's John if you haven't met him. Sam is also, this is so much fun, a #1 best-selling author of this book. Cool, right? He performed, yay, Sam, woohoo! He performed open mic at Tempe Improv, which is highly impressive because that takes guts, or another word. He is banned from Wikipedia for life, and I want to know why, but that's Q&A at the end. Right? Okay, so get ready to learn from someone in the YouTube trenches on his way to earning a silver play button. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's 100,000 subscribers. So please welcome Sam Santiago.
Thank you very much, Sheri. Let's give her a round of applause, please. So I was honored when Sheri asked me to speak because I've only been doing this for about 1.5 years. That's not a long time in the scheme of things. Now, I'm told my results up to this point are abnormal. I am an anomaly. That's the word of the day, anomaly, okay? On average, I wouldn't say on average, minimum, every single month, and I didn't tell her I was gonna talk about this, every month I make at least $150. Now, some of you are like, oh, big deal, it's peanuts. It's difficult to get to that point in 1.5 years, and that's minimum. A lot of times I make more than that. So today I want to talk to you about YouTube specifics, but before I do, I want to share with you a story that at first glance you'd be like, what the heck is he talking about? This has nothing to do with YouTube. The story I'm about to share with you has everything to do with YouTube. Several years ago, I lived in New Jersey. I had a small dog. I had to go away out of town, and I needed to board my dog, right? So boarding in New Jersey, at least in the town I lived in, was incredibly expensive. So I mentioned to an acquaintance, we weren't really good friends, I mentioned to her I had this problem. I needed to board my dog, and it was going to cost me a fortune. And she volunteered to watch my dog for me. Very nice of her, right? But there was a catch. She said when I got back, if I wouldn't mind sitting with her son to teach him the basics of football. Because he was about to go into high school, he wanted to be on the football team, but he knew nothing about how to actually play the sport. So I was like, no big deal, I'll do that. So I went on my trip, I came back, my dog was still alive, and I was with the kid in the backyard, maybe 30 minutes. I showed him the basics since I had played myself in high school. Mind you, I wasn't a great athlete, but I showed him what I knew. Let's fast forward a number of years. Again, we were not really friends. She hit me up on LinkedIn. I got an email from her, the mom, right? And she says, my son really wanted me to reach out to you to thank you because he got all state. To think the impact I had on this kid. I was only with him maybe 30 minutes, if that. And I can't take credit for what he did, but the fact that he thought enough of what I taught him that he thanked me all these years later. Now, I can't tell you if the kid got a full ride scholarship to college. I can't tell you if he's in the NFL. I don't even know his name. But the point of the story was impact. I had never felt anything like that until YouTube. I've made all these videos helping people decide to relocate here to Arizona, and on the daily, I get emails. I get people on the street, like my friend John over here. They thank me in person. I can't believe the impact that my videos are having on these people I never met before. Telling me that I've basically helped them and their families relocate here, and they're really loving life here in Arizona. Now, this isn't about me. I'm looking at a room full of YouTubers. Think of the impact we can all have on society if we actually put our message out there and people watch our videos. Now, there are 3 things I want to share with you during our time together today, okay? Number 1, my story. Number 2, I want to share the same advice I would share with myself if I had a DeLorean and can go back in time. And number 3, I want to give you guys hope. Because as you can see, I'm not some high school kid that just graduated living in my mom's basement trying to make it go at YouTube, okay? I'm an older guy. I got a career. I got a family. I had to cram this in. And YouTube is not easy. It was very hard for me, which you're about to hear. So if I could do it, there's no reason any of you can't do it either. And you're going to hear a little bit of an accent. I just flew in a few hours ago from New York City. I'm originally from New York, New Jersey. The accent is in full effect tonight. So my story. Several years ago, my wife's best friend Lindsay came over. And she was like, Sam, have you heard about these people making tons of money on YouTube? There's this kid, Ryan, he opens up toys. He's making millions. And there's this other guy, PewDiePie, he curses and plays video games. So I let that sit. After she left, I immediately got on YouTube. I looked up Ryan's toys. And I watched several of his videos. I was like, I got a cute kid. I can make stupid videos too. What's the big deal? I'll be a millionaire in another 2 weeks. So I created this channel. Now, my daughter's name is Aurora. Her nickname is Rory. So whenever I call for her, I say, hey, Roar, come here. Now, it's a play on words, like a lion, hey, roar, you know. I did all the work, put this up, and I got un gat. I got nothing, nada, zilch. It was a complete and total failure. And I got mad. I was like, this BS. All these other jamooks are making money, and I got like no views. I was like, this pissed me off. I'm gonna try not to curse. I know, demonetization. So I was like, all right. I decided to make another channel called Ambitiously Lazy. Why would I name the channel Ambitiously Lazy? Because it captures my essence. And then I just started throwing mud at the wall. I tried all sorts of different things. My very first video is on dating because Sheri doesn't know, I'm also the author of 1,000 Women in 30 Days. It's an ebook format, and it's the formula of how I was able to game, match, and meet my wife. So my very first video on that channel was on dating, and my 4th video ever, and again, I was throwing mud at the wall, was a video titled, Reasons Why I Hate Arizona. That video today has almost 60,000 views. Now, you would have thought I would have been smart and just proceeded from there to start making exclusively videos about Arizona. But no, that's not what I did. At the time, I was vegan, and I was like, you know, there's a lot of vegan YouTubers. Why don't I find the most popular ones, take their recipes, I'll make the meal, my wife, my daughter, and I will give it thumbs up, thumbs down, we'll call the show Vegan Recipe Review. Well, that went nowhere either, right? And I was like, you know what, screw YouTube, I'm not doing it anymore. And I quit, I was done. Like, forget that. Maybe it's just for little kids graduating high school, I'm done. So it's funny how the universe works. I happened to go on a business trip to Long Island, or for you New Yorkers, Long Island. Long Island. I went to Long Island, and I was sitting in an Uber. Now, whenever I'm in an Uber, it's kind of like a counseling session, because I know I'm never going to see the person ever again. I talk freely. I can talk about whatever. And it's back and forth, too. They tell me stuff that you wouldn't normally tell people either. Nothing's off the table. So I'm talking to my Uber driver. I'm like, yo, I cannot wait to move back to New Jersey. Arizona, oh, God, I hate Arizona. There's cacti, and it's hot as hell, and it's just desert. And he's like, bro, listen to me, bro. There's nothing for you here. It snows, the people are nasty, taxes are crazy, Housing is off the charts expensive. Do yourself a favor, stay in Arizona. And as silly as it sounds, some stranger telling me this changed my perspective. I came back to Arizona with a fresh set of eyes. And I started to appreciate it. And I was thinking, maybe I should do that YouTube thing again. But this time, I'm going to treat it like a business. I decided I was going to do a little test, proof of concept. And if my test worked, I would then proceed. If my test did not work, if I didn't make a dime, I would give up on YouTube forever. Long story short, it worked. And it was like blood in the water. I saw that check from Google. I was like, they're paying me to make videos. I'm going to make a lot more. And that's what I did. And so I made this channel. It actually was rebranding of Ambitiously Lazy. Arizona Living, a New Yorker's take on Arizona. As Sheri said, I have almost 250 videos, 3,500 subs, and I'm about to hit 500,000 views. And probably most importantly, I have a sponsor. So that's pretty cool. Now that is my YouTube story. Now let's get to the reason why you all came today, the tips. Remember the DeLorean coming back? YouTube. All right, class, humor me. Please say together, what is this word? You. Thank you. You. Each of us is going to do YouTube in your own unique way. You're not going to be a carbon copy of me, because the stuff I'm going to tell you, you're going to be like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. You're crazy. And that's okay. You know, there's YouTubers in this room that are very successful, like Jarrett, and he does it completely different than I do, and that's fine. You know, we both have different lives. And the point is, don't be like, Sam's crazy. I'm not going to do that. Screw this. It's your channel. You do what works for you. That's the message I'm trying to get. This is not get rich quick, okay? If you want quick money, drive for Uber. If you want real money from YouTube, it's going to take a minimum of 5 to 10 years. That's the truth. Now, I'm sorry if some of you feel like I just peed in your Cheerios. But that's the truth. That is the hardcore truth. And people don't tell you. They make it seem like it's get rich quick, but it's really not. Now, more and more families are cutting the cord and exclusively watching YouTube on their big screens. They'll stream it from their phones. I was shocked by how many comments I get from families that say, we love your channel. And some dads are okay with me cursing, some are not. So I've learned to try to scale that back a little bit. But the point is, there's opportunity here to make money, and the opportunity is continuing to grow. YouTube is not getting smaller, it's getting bigger. Best practices. I am a self-proclaimed YouTube marketing junkie, okay? I watch experts all the time on the subject of YouTube, constantly, all day long, by guys like Roberto Blake, Nick Nieman, Brian G. Johnson, Sheri Barbera. I watch all these experts. But I don't take what they say for gospel. I test. For example, you might have someone that says you have to transcribe all your videos and add hashtags to all your descriptions. I call BS. You don't have to do that. Why? I tested it on my channel. If I don't see a dramatic difference, I'm not going to waste my time and energy on it. That's point blank. I'm not going to do that. Now, I'm the kid at school. I would spend all night figuring out how to cheat on the test than actually study for the test. So here, you got to know the rules so you can break the rules without getting caught. That's my point, okay? I test everything. Don't take anything I say for gospel. Test. You don't believe me? Test. See if it works for you. I'm always testing stuff. In fact, I got time. I'll talk about some of the stuff I'm testing right now. Secret stuff. You guys ready? There's something called metadata stuffing, okay? Where you take, there's two files when you upload to YouTube. There's the video file itself and the thumbnail, okay? Those two files. In Windows, you can go to Properties and go to the Display tab and keyword stuff the keyword into all the fields like author, producer, the camera model, all that stuff. You can put the keywords in all those fields, and that's stuffing. And I've had some pretty good results with it thus far. Another thing I'm testing, Pinterest. Believe it or not, my competitor, I was trying to figure out, how is this guy getting more traffic than me? His stuff is nowhere near as good as mine. Let's call a spade, right? How the heck is this guy getting all this traffic? And I figured out, I know what you're doing. You're using Pinterest. I'm on to you. So I'm looking at the camera. So, he recreated his channel on Pinterest. And so far, I've only uploaded one of my video thumbnails up there. I'm going to recreate my whole channel. I'm probably going to hire somebody from the Philippines to do it for me. So test everything is what I'm trying to say there. The algorithm. We've all heard of this scary thing called the algorithm from Google, right? It's the magic formula on the back end that figures out which videos YouTube is going to promote. Now, in case you guys don't know, YouTube is owned by Google. YouTube is the second biggest search platform out there. This formula, which I'm going to describe, is from YouTube employees. This is the bottom line, okay? High CTR and high view duration. What the heck is that? CTR, click-through rate. Whenever your thumbnail is displayed, the percentage of people that actually click on it, that's what CTR is, click-through rate. So you got to have a really good-looking thumbnail, and of course a title that people are actually searching for, and that's step one. So once people actually watch your video, they need to watch a minimum of 50% of your video. If they watch over 50% of your video and there's a good click-through rate, you're golden. Your video is going to get promoted, you're going to get 10,000 plus views. Point blank, that's how it works. I don't know, some of you might be offended by this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you're having issues that your channel's not taking off, and I'm saying this because I experienced it myself, your content sucks. Seriously, if people are dropping off, you could actually look at your analytics, and you see people are dropping off 10, 15 seconds after they start your video, either A, you have an intro that's too long, B, perhaps you're boring as hell, C, your microphone sucks and they don't want to hear it. You know, one of those three things, if you see people are dropping off right away. You know, my average view duration is 4 minutes, which is not bad. Some of my videos have 12-minute averages. It's all average. So this is the master formula for the algorithm, okay? High CTR, high view duration. The algorithm looks at thousands of different things, and this is the simplest format I've seen the formula. Find your niche. Throwing mud at the wall, kind of like in my story where I said I was trying all sorts of different types of videos. Believe me, I did not want to be the Arizona guy. Didn't want to be the Arizona guy. Remember, I hated Arizona. The last thing I wanted to be was Arizona's, spokesperson. You know, I have yet to contact the Arizona Tourist Association, but I will one day. You think I'm joking? This is the face of Arizona on YouTube. Now, frankly, the decision for me to pursue this micro niche is why I don't have tens of thousands of subscribers. But it is the reason why I have a sponsor. And let's talk about my sponsor. These two realtors, okay, both women, contacted me. I didn't go looking for a sponsor. They contacted this guy. They're like, hey, we want to meet you for lunch. We want to talk about what we can do. So we met for lunch. I gave them 15 minutes because I was working that day from home. And we did on a handshake, and basically I have in every single of my videos a pop-up for them. If you're looking for a realtor, contact them. They're in my description, and I even have a playlist for their videos on my channel. And I'm always talking them up, and it's been a great arrangement so far. And they've also brought along their loan officer. So now we have an exclusive arrangement where I get paid every single month. And it helps pay for things, you know, because there are expenses associated with having a YouTube channel, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So find your niche. Your audience will tell you what they want to see. You know, again, throwing mud at the wall. Turning lemons into lemonade. Taking negatives and making them positives. I'm going to slow down. I think I'm going a little too fast. So there are three stories I want to talk about, all right? The first, my wife. She wanted nothing to do with YouTube, nothing. But ironically, she's the one that told me I needed a hobby because I was forever on her case. She'd be sitting there watching Game of Thrones for like 15 hours. And I would ask questions, what's this, what's that? Why are there 3 dragons? Why is she kissing her cousin? You know? So she begged me to get, for years, she begged me to get a hobby, and this is what it is, YouTube, but she wanted nothing to do with it. And that's a problem for me, because I wanted to do like a family vlog. How can I have a family vlog without my wife in it? So I figured, I'll put cartoons over her, you know? And so in every episode, depending on what the episode is about, I'll put a different type of cartoon. Like when we went to the Grand Canyon, I have like a cartoon of a moose over her, right? And so, and recently I was doing like a house tour, and I asked her to get up so I could film the living room while her being on the couch, and she refused, so I put a cartoon of a devil over her. And the audience, my subscribers, the Zonies, love Cartoon Wife, and that's what I call her. That's her name. She's known as Cartoon Wife. And to tell you the truth, I even call her Cartoon Wife all the time. And so it's really a little weird. But so that was a solution I got to turning lemons to lemonade. The next thing I want to talk about, I want to sit on this one for a little bit, trolls. When I first started my channel, I was getting hit with trolls. Now, you guys, for those of you that don't know what a troll is someone that watches your video and takes the time to write a nasty comment. Now, this is not constructive criticism. A nasty, downright comment. Really, really nasty. Like something you would never say to somebody else to their face, right? So, how did I deal with that? Now, don't get me wrong. I was upset a lot. And I would write them nasty messages. Screw you. What are you doing with your life? I'd like to see you try making a video. Why don't you start your own damn channel? You know so much about Arizona. So, and don't get me wrong, but now doing it a year and a half, I have a new perspective about the trolls. I feel sorry for them. Their lives are pathetic. Why would you take the time to watch a video and write something nasty to somebody else? They're jealous. That's what it is. That's right. I'm talking to you, trolls. You're jealous of me. They're like, look at this Mama Luke in a big house in Arizona. Oh, you look so happy. You fat. And they write, you fat bastard, you know. And so, you know, I've learned how to deal with them. Now, I'm not perfect, all right? There are sometimes I really lose it, and I'll make a whole video telling off the troll, okay? Seriously, I will. But I've actually incorporated the trolls into the show, which is something I've never seen anyone else do. I think it's an Arizona Living exclusive. During my videos, and not all the videos, I have a black background, and I'll put text. If it's white text, that's me talking. If it's yellow text, that's a troll talking. And so I proactively make fun of myself in a voice of a troll. For example, let's say I'm going to go out to eat in a video. I'll put a black background with yellow text, being the troll, and it'll say something like, skip the cake, you fat bastard, you know, something like that. And it's funny, and it's mean, and it's something a troll might say. So in addition to that, whenever I get a message from a troll that actually makes it to the front page for the comments, I pay special note to the words they use, because some trolls have a very limited vocabulary. So I'll take those words and I'll put them in my community settings. So if anyone in the future uses those words in a comment, they get held, and that way I can select if they actually make it through or not. So I'm actually thankful for the trolls' nasty comments now, because I then add those words to my list. On a bright note about trolls, there is a bright note. YouTube would be boring without trolls. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I get tons of comments. You're the best, you're so funny, we moved to Arizona, we love it, you're the man, and there's only so much positivity one can take. It gets boring after a while. And I'm just like, yeah, that's nice, have a nice day, you know. And then the troll comes around with something crazy. You know, it keeps it interesting is the point I'm trying to make. You know, the third thing I want to talk about, I make fun of the fact that I have crappy equipment and I don't know how to edit very well. I proactively make fun of this because it was a struggle. We all see Casey Neistat, 4K video. Everything is just perfect and beautiful. That was not me. My first videos look like I'm being held hostage in a cave, okay? The audio sucked, The lighting sucked. I didn't even know how to edit. Like, I had some real bad grammatical errors. I did not know how to splice, so I left them in there. Seriously, you want to go look at my old videos? They're still there. I might have put a fancy thumbnail. The old crappy video footage is still there. So what the hell is this? You'll see what I'm talking about. So my email address is thebootlegstudio@gmail.com. Because I want to put it out there that I know my setup is ghetto. I know my setup is bootleg. I'm fully aware of this. I got cheap lighting from eBay and stuff from, like, you know, Amazon. I pay probably $100 for everything I use. At first I was using like cartons, you know, I mean, stacking stuff up. It was seriously bootleg. For the longest, till recently, I was using my iPhone to film everything. And my iPhone has issues. For whatever reason, when you start speaking, it doesn't pick up the first couple words. And I would forget that. And so then I'd have to reshoot. I had issues. So now I have a fancy GoPro Hero 7. And for the first month and a half, I wanted to flush it down the toilet. Because this thing, you got to have the special settings. If you don't have the special settings, it's going to look like you're in a fish bowl, and it's a pain in the butt. The files are too big. The aspect ratio was off. I had to convert it. It was taking me forever to make my videos. And then when I finally got the footage the way I wanted it, my computer is too old. It can't work with the files. So this camera, which initially was like $350, $600 of all the accessories, now I need to buy a new Mac. But the footage looks amazing, though, you know? So the point is, don't be hung up on your equipment and your editing skills. We all got to get started somewhere. It's a progression, you know? Don't let it stop you from putting something out. When I'm done editing, when my video is done, right, and then I show it to my wife on the big screen, a lot of times she'll say, "You didn't cover me up on that scene." Sorry. Once I make my video, once it is rendered, once it's on YouTube, I ain't changing it for nobody. If she really gets mad, like I'm going to sleep on the sofa mad, I'll put like a box over her using the Creator Studio. And that's it. I'm not going to touch it. Because YouTube is about being a creator. You know salespeople that have that ABC, always be closing? YouTubers, always be creating. I ain't got time to go back and redo a video. I'm on to my next video. You know what I'm saying? Outsourcing. You too can have a global team. The guy that makes my thumbnails, the guy that did my banner, he's in Morocco. I've never been to Morocco. The guy that built my website, arizonaliving.info, he's in Sri Lanka. I'm looking to hire someone from the Philippines, $3 an hour, to help me with my marketing. So he, like for example, recreating my entire channel on Pinterest. And over there, because of the exchange rate, it's not slave labor. And I know some of you, oh, what kind of American are you? You're taking our jobs away. Well, let me tell you this. For many years, I drove American cars. And I worked very hard for my money. My American cars wouldn't last 100,000 miles. Today, I am a Toyota guy. I work damn hard for my money. And I am not, because it's American, going to invest, okay, in buying an American car when it's a piece of crap. Ford, Chrysler, sorry, please sponsor me. I'm sorry.
They were just looking to sponsor you, too.
Whatever. In case you haven't been able to see this, my channel is exactly how you see me today. I am 100% authentic. I don't care who I offend. I'm going to offend somebody. Tell you a little bit of a story. Today, I just got back from New York City, right? And so my beard needed to be trimmed. What did I do? In this very building, in the bathroom, I had my razor. You know, electric. Some guy came out of the stall, thought I was crazy. I don't care. I will take out my phone and record anywhere. Today, LaGuardia, I'm out there. Welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. So, you know, it doesn't matter. If you're going to do YouTube, do YouTube. Don't do it half-ass. Go for it. So what was it talking about? Oh, yeah, outsourcing. So I use Fiverr for my banner and for my thumbnails. Fiverr, Fiverr.com, like a $5 bill, Fiverr. It's $5 for the service. You got to pay an extra $2 for the Fiverr company, so it's actually $7. And I use a company called freelancer.com to create my fancy intro. A lot of people comment they love my intro. It's like a little avatar of me as a ball, and the Statue of Liberty kicks me across the United States, and I land in the desert, and I start coughing, and a cloud of dust goes. I gave the guy from freelancer.com all the files necessary. I told him exactly what the storyboard was, and to my amazement, he got it right the first time. And it cost me under $100. So there's people out there, don't think you're alone. There's a lot of aspects to YouTube. You can't do it all yourself. I tried doing my own thumbnails. I tried, I really did. I took online classes like Udemy, and I suck at it, I really do. And I was not getting any sort of enjoyment out of making any thumbnails. So I was like, you know what, screw it. My guy I have in Morocco, he was 2 thumbnails for $5, okay? $2.50 each. He has now increased his prices. Now he only does 1 thumbnail for $5. But for me, he honors the original price because I've given him so much business. So the point is, you're not alone. You're going to feel overwhelmed. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. How the hell am I going to do this? You can outsource inexpensively overseas. Funny story. Let's go on a tangent here. I got time. So I was doing this meeting in New York at a hotel in Manhattan where there's a union shop, believe it or not. And these people, they get paid to just sit around and just look at you. And so we wanted some tables moved at a specific time, right? We told them at 1:55, you need to be here to move these 4 tables. 1:55 came, 1:55 went. I moved the damn tables myself, okay? Why do I even talk about this? I don't know. Just outsourcing. Sometimes outsourcing doesn't work out, you know? Sometimes you got to take the bull by the horns. Channel reviews. This is my secret sauce. A lot of people do not talk about channel reviews. I will enlighten you on this. What is a channel review? A channel review is if you pay an experienced YouTuber who's been doing this a number of years, is successful, they review your channel, your playlist, your thumbnails, your actual video content, and they give you constructive criticism. They tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your channel. Now, I have had this done several times, and sometimes they hurt my feelings. One guy was like, Sam, seriously, this is your channel? And you wonder why people aren't subscribing? Your stuff sucks. Your thumbnails suck, your videos suck, your camera sucks, everything sucks. The only thing I like about you is you're funny. You remember the Hey Roar banner I did? Well, that I had made for that channel? The artist that did that for me told me the reason why he made it crazy is so it matches my video content, because it's crazy. Now, with channel reviews, this is hiring someone. This is not asking your broke brother-in-law who thinks he knows everything about everything and has 0 money in the bank, okay? Everybody thinks they know YouTube. They think, oh, you should do pranks. No, I should not do prank videos. I'll get arrested. No, I'm not doing that. You want to hire people to look at your channel once you're all set up, and they'll give you critique. This is well worth the investment. Don't compare yourselves to others. We're not all going to be Casey Neistats. We're all unique. We all have different niches we're going after. It's all about your personality, you know? This guy, I got a channel review from this guy, Nieman. He is one of the big YouTube experts out there. He's American. He lives in Thailand. He did his final review for 2018 was my channel. And he actually said he liked my channel. So it was a big gold star for me, because he rips people apart all the time. And he actually liked it. He gave me a couple suggestions because it's hard to see the forest from the trees, which is why I'm emphasizing channel reviews. Once you have your channel set up and you have at least a dozen videos, pay the money. I've had so many. I just got one recently. And the guy was like, I can't really find anything to hit you on, but you might want to consider doing this, this, and this. So at this point, I don't think I'm going to do any more channel reviews for a while. But I've done at least 5 or 6 of them. Seriously, well worth the investment. Keyword research. I'm going to put this down for a little while. We'll talk about this for a little bit. I dragged my feet on this. I did not want to do keyword research. I am a very creative person, and to me, this seemed boring. Really freaking boring. I did not want to do keyword research. But I discovered that I would get a lot better results if my videos did have keywords. And people were actually looking for that content. So I have found some apps that help with this. I mean, for whatever reason, I thought the YouTube gods would shine on me and send me viewers that turn to subscribers for really obscure keywords. It doesn't work that way, you know? So I'm going to talk about a couple apps I use. First one, Morning Fame. Morning Fame. Why do I use Morning Fame? Morning Fame looks at something called channel authority. Now, what is channel authority? I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, I was the king of the hill for the term Phoenix, Arizona. King of the hill. Any video I put out there with that in the description and as a tag, I was ranked up top, right, for a little while. And one day, this guy with his channel, Chocolate Vegan, he came to town. He moved from New York to Arizona, had never made a video about Arizona before, and then he kicked me off my hill, completely off the hill. I was like, how the heck did this guy do this? So I started looking at his channel. You know what I found? This guy had 600 videos versus my 100 videos. So no wonder why YouTube was favoring him, because channel authority. And that's how I learned what channel authority was. So then when I learned about this app, Morning Fame, that it looks into channel authority, I was like, huh, I want to kick people off the hill too. I'm going to use that app, right? So what I do is I'll find a keyword and I'll put it in there, and it'll tell me what the volume is, if it's worth my time, and then it'll tell me what tags I should use, right? And then I actually put that in my video when I upload it. And then I use another app. See, I use Morning Fame to tell me if I can rank for keywords. And then I use TubeBuddy to tell me if I am ranking for keywords. TubeBuddy? TubeBuddy. Sorry, my accent. So I use both. Now, are these apps free? TubeBuddy has some free stuff, but I actually pay, and I pretend that I'm a student, so I get a discount. I'm 100% real. I don't BS anybody. I keep it real, okay? So here's a trick. Once I find what keyword I want to use, right? And I'm positive that's the keyword I want to use. I have all the tags ready. When I actually record my video, I'll start the intro like this. So let's just pretend that the video I'm going to make is about Arizona air quality, right? Welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. Today we're going to talk about Arizona air quality. Stay tuned. That's my intro, right? And I used the keyword because guess what? YouTube is going to transcribe it for me. And that you have to use it in the beginning of your intro, and that gets me additional views. It's as simple as that. Now, what I found was there's no point in making videos if nobody's going to see them, which is why it's important to do your keyword research. It's real quick for me now. I come up with an idea. In my iPhone, I use the Notes app. I have a running list of ideas. There's always like 100 ideas. And my subscribers are always giving me additional ideas. So whenever I come up with an idea, I put it in my phone. That way I don't forget, right? So I'll come up with an idea, and I might even have thumbnails made in advance for these videos. And I could go a long time without making these videos. I have a lot of old thumbnails, which if I'm in a real crunch, I will make a video for that old thumbnail, even though I don't really want to. Because I'm a creative person, and even though I had an idea months ago that I thought would be a great idea for a video, if I see that idea now, I'm like, that sucks. I don't want to make a video about that. But sometimes I have to, because I'm committed to doing 3 videos every single week. We'll talk about that in a minute. Consistency, we'll talk about it now. 3 a week is the minimum if you're serious about YouTube, experts say, okay? By my testing, I agree. There are some folks that don't do them every week, Jared. So, Your banner should say what your schedule is. My banner says Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I'm pretty good. 99% of the time, I actually do put out 3 a week. At one point, I was daily. I had a video 7 days a week, believe it or not. I really did. I did that for a little while, and then I started not like it anymore. I was like, forget it, I'm not doing it. But doing those daily videos, more than anything else, I built more of a relationship with my audience because they got to know me more on a personal level. It didn't really improve my stats, like the number of subscribers, but these folks that are watching my videos feel like they know me, you know? And so there was some benefit to it. There were some things I wanted to say on camera that I couldn't if my videos were just about Arizona. So that's what those were about. Those were actually, those videos, outside of my normal Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I called them Dose of Sam. And if you ever go look at my channel, those thumbnails are yellow as opposed to red. So you know those are the Dose of Sam videos. And my vegan videos, they're still on my channel. Those are green thumbnails. And then there's a couple oddball videos like my rants, which are more of a maroon color. The rant videos are my favorite. I go off. So let's talk about my workflow, okay? Again, this is what I was referring to. Just because this workflow works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. I don't mean to scare anybody here, okay? Because I'm crazy. So my workflow begins around, and keep in mind, I'm creative. I'm not one of these people that every Wednesday at 5 o'clock I wash my shorts. I'm not like one of those people that have a stringent, like my brother-in-law. He has a stringent schedule. Sunday, 1 o'clock, he has to wash his clothes. You know, like he's crazy like that. He probably has the same outfit for each day of the week. You know, every Tuesday he wears his red shirt, you know. I'm not like that. I am more free-flowing. So here's my workflow. Wednesday, Thursday, I start thinking about what videos I want to make, and I do my keyword research. Thursday, Friday, I have to order my thumbnails. Most of the time, I order my thumbnails by end of Friday, because if I do not order my thumbnails by end of Friday, they ain't going to be ready for prime time the next week. So I got to give my artists time to actually create them. Saturday morning, 4 a.m., I get up. That's right, I said it, 4 a.m. Saturday morning, this guy gets out of bed, I crawl out of bed, and if I hadn't already done it, I script out all my videos, and then I upload the text to Evernote. Why? I have a Gen 1 iPad as part of my bootleg studio, and it does not use notes like Apple Notes. It's too old for that. It can't handle that. I have to put it up on the Evernote website, and then I could use it on the iPad, which is in midair, like up here. And then I have my tripod with my GoPro and my lights around me with a white screen. That is the bootleg studio. And with that, since I have lights, I don't have to rely on the sun anymore. I used to do all my videos dependent on the sun, and it was horrible, really bad. You don't want to do that. You want to get some lighting, like this lighting right here. Mine's not that fancy. It was like a 3-part set on eBay. I got real cheap. I don't remember how much, but it was cheap. But they still work. I haven't even had to change out bulbs. They still work. So I got 3 of them on me. I can't tell you how long it took me to figure out how to position them. Like there's one in midair, like straight down. There's one here. And then there's one that's not exactly on me. It's a little on me, so it gets a little bit of light on me. And I know nothing about photography. Zero. Nada. I just bumped into that one time, and it looks better on camera now. So I left it after I bumped into it. It's like, it looks good. So where are they going with all this? All right, so I've made my videos, right? Saturday morning, I make 3 videos. I record all 3 videos. And then I spend my weekend, when my wife allows me, cartoon wife, to edit. By end of day Sunday, all 3 videos have been edited and uploaded and scheduled to YouTube. So Monday through Friday, all I do is respond to comments. That's it. I don't really do anything with YouTube during the work week, because I can't. Because I have a demanding job, and I got a kid, and I got cartoon wife, and it's hard for me to do anything with YouTube Monday through Friday. So that's what works for me. Now, a thing that helped me is the fact that I have bookends. I have a standard intro, which you already heard, and I have a standard outro that goes something like this. That concludes another edition of Arizona Living. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know below, keyword, till next time! that's how my videos all end. And that was a progression. When I first started my endings, I was like, till next time. And then one time I got excited, I don't remember why, and I was like, till next time. And I was like, ooh, I like that. And then I did it louder and louder until it got obnoxious. And and my audience loves it. They tell me they watch my videos just to the end to see how I end it. So the point is, if you have bookends, a clear standard intro, a clear standard outro, then you only need to focus on what the keyword is and the meat. And if you have your setup already done with your bootleg studio, you can each have your own bootleg studio. That's not copyrighted. You can have whatever, you want to call it the ghetto studio, it doesn't matter. You could use whatever term you want, but I have the bootlegstudio@gmail.com email address. You can't have that. Some people ask me if it's spelled D-A. No, it's spelled T-H-E, duh. Done is better than perfect. Your first 100 videos are going to suck. Your thumbnails are going to suck. Your editing is going to suck. You're going to go back and cringe when you watch your original videos. Don't let it stop you from starting. Don't be one of these people who say, when I have 35 videos ready, that's when I'll launch my channel. No, it doesn't look at, you're going to miss out on a lot of people watching your stuff. You wait till you have 35 videos ready. It doesn't make sense. What professional YouTuber told you to do that? Nobody. You made it up because you're scared of what other people freaking think. My neighbor might think I'm crazy. Screw your neighbor. Thumbs down is still an engagement. YouTube doesn't care if it's a thumbs down. It's still in your favor. So don't be scared about thumbs down. Most of the time I put videos out, the very first thing I see is a thumbs down. And if you look at your analytics, it tells you if one time I remember I was just getting started. I remember telling my family, I'm doing better this week. Thumbs down have gone up. So if you get anything out of this presentation, let it be this. Don't give a rat's ass about what other people think. That's why so many of us are in debt, trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's why so many of us are not being authentic with who we are. Be yourself. I wear pink. I love wearing pink. And I dare anyone to say anything to my face when I wear pink. Pink and black. Bret Hart, WWF. I wear hot, not regular pink, I wear hot pink. I do, I really do. It's my color. It looks good on me. But I don't give a rat's ass what anybody has to say. I have my subscribers, 3,500 something, that like me for who I am. And that's who I'm making videos for. I'm not making videos for those Mama Lukes that have something nasty to say. I don't care. That's the point. Don't be discouraged and wait till everything is perfect. Because I have news. Your stuff is never going to be perfect. Never, ever. Been doing this a year and a half. My stuff still sucks. But I'm still putting them out. Think the library get mad? I'm yelling. Create a community. I now have my subscribers answering other subscribers' questions. So I don't even need to get involved. It's great. And some subscribers have watched all my videos. All of them, believe it or not. It's kind of crazy. My subscribers actually named themselves the Zonies. A subscriber actually made this logo for me. And I put it up on Teespring, and that's a way I earn a little bit of income. I also pay attention to what my subscribers say. There was this one subscriber that said, hey Sam, why don't you make a video of you going grocery shopping? Grocery shopping? Who the hell wants to see me go grocery shopping? Apparently 6,000 people wanted to see me go grocery shopping. I kid you not. That video has 6,000 views, me going grocery shopping. I went to Safeway, I went to Winco, I went to Target, I went to a whole bunch of different places to show Arizona actually has grocery stores. Who knew? Now, I'm not doing YouTube for fame, but if it's really cool to be found in public. This one story, I'm walking down the aisle at Costco, me and cartoon wife, right? And these two younger adults, they walk up to me, they're like, "It's you!" And cartoon wife was mortified. She wasn't wearing any makeup. She was like, "Oh!" And then one time I went to a game, right? I went to a game to see, what's that team? The league dissolved, the Arizona Hotshots, right? I went to see a game, and I was by where they were selling the merch, and this older gentleman came up to me. He goes, "I love your channel." And his daughter was with him, and she was probably my age, and she was mortified. So it was great. She was like, "Oh, Dad, why? Why?" So I get found in public quite a bit. It's kind of cool, but it's never been my motivation, you know? But I like it, though. I even had a meetup where I invited people that lived in Arizona to come meet me, and we did like a question and answer session. I had about a dozen people show up, so that was cool. You know, who knew? Now I just threw this in there for funsies. This is my license plate with a special plate cover, so I can get subscribers while I'm driving.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. See? And you too can have your own special YouTube URL once I think you hit 100 subscribers. You can put in for that. And Zonies one. I asked Cartoon Wife if she wanted license plate Zonies too. She said no. Watch time. This is why I spend time editing, because you want to keep people engaged. The longer they watch your videos, the more YouTube is going to promote your videos. So sometimes I'll zoom in and out every 10 seconds, just for a change. I'll add music from SoundCloud. The particular artist I like is DJ Quads, because I heard him on Casey Neistat's channel, and it's completely royalty free. I will never get dinged from YouTube by using his stuff. I try to add as much humor as possible, sound effects, cartoons flashing in and out, and I found that if your videos are over 10 minutes long, you can add additional ads, which is great because that helps me monetarily. So if it's over 10 minutes long, I can add as many ads as I want. Now you don't want to be crazy with it, of ad every 5 seconds, but I do what YouTube suggests. Normally it's like 3 ads during the course of the video and a beginning ad and an ad. And my subscribers never complain about it. They're kind of accustomed to it at this point. Now, when we were kids, we tried to be carbon copies of everybody else. Everyone else wore a particular jacket or particular sneakers. We try to emulate them for fear of ridicule, right? Am I right or am I wrong? With YouTube, it's the complete opposite. You want to stand out. Now, there was a show on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil. Any of you guys ever see that? Now, when Cartoon Wife and I started watching this show, we're like, that guy's a dork. And as we watched the show more, and then seasons of the show, we grew to really like him. Now, he's still a dork, but he's our dork. YouTube is the same way. If you have a particular subject matter that people are interested in, they might not like you at first, but eventually, like mold, you'll grow on them. You want to be different. You want to be unique. That's the point. Be outlandish. Be yourself. I'll wear pink. I don't care. I really, honest to God, don't care. You should see what I do with my neighbors. Like, I'll be out there in front of my car, and welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. And my neighbor's standing right there looking at me like, what the hell? And they know I have a channel. Now, before I close, I want to really share something deep with you guys. I sometimes wonder if doing YouTube is worth all the effort. Because I spend a ton of time on this. All those hours I spend, I could make a heck of a lot more money driving for Uber. I know I talk about Uber a lot. Eventually. So I asked myself, why are you doing this? Is it really going to be worth it? And I analyzed it. I'm like, well, would it be worth it if years from now, after I'm gone, my daughter and her children and their children could still see me on TV? Would it be worth it if I'm lucky enough to make it to retirement and Social Security is defunded, I'll be making at least $3,000 a month with this. Would it be worth it if even there's a small, tiny, minute chance that a video goes viral, blows the channel up, I could quit my 9 to 5 and spend more quality time with my family? So let me ask you guys, do you guys think it's worth it? That's my presentation. Salud. So I guess we're doing question and answer now.
I want to know about Wikipedia.
Okay. All right. I'll get to yours next. Wikipedia. True story. I didn't just make that up. I hate, let me preface, I hate Disney, and I hope to get banned from Disneyland for life. But Wikipedia, I am banned for life, and at one point I was banned from Google AdSense. Okay? Unrelated, completely unrelated. I let 5 years pass, and then I approached Google AdSense. I was like, I'm sorry, there was a misunderstanding. Can you forgive me? And Google forgave me. Wikipedia told me, screw yourself, no. Now what happened was, my ex-wife, she wanted a profile on Wikipedia, so I made a profile for her. And the Wikipedia gods were like, that's a bunch of BS, you're self-promoting. And so I made some changes. They still did not like it, and they're like, you're a blatant self-promoter. We don't ever want you going on our site again. Now, could I probably create another account? Yeah, but I like being able to say I'm banned from Wikipedia for life. And I've approached them several times, and they still say, no, you are evil, we don't want you. So that's a true story. All right, I'm sorry, what was your question?
So I got a couple. The first one is, you mentioned trolls, and you mentioned there's a way that you can actually identify their keywords and blacklist them, or basically access control.
Yes, sir. Within creators.
And actually, I got another question for you. My other question is channel review. How did you actually get those other YouTubers to review your channel? Did you reach out to them, or is there a certain resource or URL you can go to identify who offers that service? And then
hold on, let me ask you first two. Okay, so your first one about the trolls. So in your Creator Studio, once you have your channel up, that's kind of the back end to YouTube for your channel. You can go on the left-hand side, there's community settings. Within there, you can set up, I forget exactly what it's called, but there's an area for keywords for you to block.
Upload default.
Thank you, upload defaults. And then you could put all the words, like I have tons of words. I'm always,
you just do it by their username. That'd be so much easier.
you can block them. If you really, like, here's the thing.
Because you're looking for patterns here,
Yeah.
opposed to just going to their identity.
No, keywords is what I'm looking for. So I go by keywords. Like, for example, fat. Fat, believe it or not, I was concerned when I first started YouTube, people are going to call me fat. People rarely call me fat, believe it or not. They insult me on other things. So they don't really insult me on being fat. They say I'm uneducated and ignorant, and God forbid I mention the wall. Oh, those people are crazy. So I don't talk about religion, I don't talk about politics, because those, woo, you know. All right, so basically, to answer your question, you could put in all those keywords, right? And if someone really pisses you off, you can block them entirely. They can't see your channel anymore, you know? But I'm all about karma. I'll block someone for a couple of months, and when I forget why I blocked them, I unblock them. And guess what? They never come back to insult me, ever. So your other question, I'm sorry, what was it?
How do you get access to channel reviews?
I use Fiverr.com. Fiverr.
So they actually advertise on Fiverr, they will review your channel?
Yes.
Okay, and then my third question is there like a sweet spot where you should have your video be 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Have you been able to gauge the best duration of video?
It depends. Ideally, 10 minutes is the goal for me, because I like to be able to add extra ads. That's me. I like to shoot for 10 minutes. Most of my videos, I would say, are around 5-6 minutes.
And one last question, if I can. Royalty-free, what are some good resources or URLs or websites to go to not just for music, but for photos and so forth?
There are a ton of resources. The one I use for music in particular is SoundCloud, but there are tons. You could easily Google this. Tons of resources for royalty-free photos, videos, and music.
Thank you.
No problem. To be honest, frankly, I just go to Google, I find an image, I crop it, I use it. And I've yet to get any strikes.
We were just having that conversation, and like, is this a gray area? I mean, because I'm one of those people that, you know, I would rather ask for forgiveness
Me too.
than to apologize.
Me
right?
too, 100.
This goes back to the whole perfect thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're too conscious of certain things, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be an obstacle. You're not going to actually watch.
Exactly.
So, how does that work with YouTube? Do they kind of monitor and police that very well, or?
From my experience, they police music like crazy.
But not images.
Not images, music. I mean, I could talk for an hour about copyright strike type stuff regarding music. They don't play. Like if you even have, and some people have this idea that it's okay to use 3 to 5 seconds of music that you don't own. That is not okay. You will get flagged. You will get demonetized. Don't do it. Music in particular.
And like you're talking about images, let me tell you what, computers are getting so advanced and so powerful now that if you look back 10 years on Google and the changes they made, you watch 5 years from now, they're going to be able to identify everything you do. They actually know more about you than you know about yourself. And they're going to be able to identify your stuff, and we're going to see some crazy times come up. Just go look up the penguin adjustment from 2012 with Google.
It's an update that Google did on their end.
There's a whole set of video, pictures, photos, like either unsplash or upsplash, and they very clearly say that you can use them, they're free, you can change them, you can use them to monetize, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really cool royalty-free picture website called Shutterstock. I pay about $30 a month. It's a little steep, I guess, but I use those high-resolution pictures to do some of my thumbnails for my videos. And you can use the ones unless they say like editorial only or like not for commercial. Most of them you can use. And so you can download like 10 a month or something. And they're really high-resolution files that you can trim them, crop them, zoom in, whatever. So Shutterstock is a good resource.
Thank you. This is like when my subscribers answer each other's questions. I sit back, sip on a margarita. All right, question in the back.
He told us not to do with music. Where can we find the Pixabay of music?
The Pixelmay of music?
Pixabay, like the photo.
Free photos. Photos and drawings.
Oh, I use SoundCloud. I mean, there's SoundCloud. There's tons of websites that offer free music, free to use, royalty free. That's just the one I use in particular. I try to keep it very simple. Like there are some guys that spend hours trying to figure out the perfect song for their video. I don't do that. I try to rotate my music, and I'll just grab one. Like if I haven't used it in a while, I'm like, I'll use that one. It's no big deal, for me at least. I'm not looking to be a cinematic director. It's like, it's just YouTube. You know, people are gonna watch them and people are not.
Is all of the music on SoundCloud for
No.
select artists?
Some artists have some of their music free, and then some you have to pay for. Some artists are exclusively free. It all depends. Any other questions?
What's your goal with YouTube? Like, where do you want it to take you in 5 years or how?
Great question. My goal initially was to have it as a hobby. That was my goal. That's all I wanted. And then I wanted to make a little bit of money. And then when I got that first check, and then YouTube changed the rules where you needed to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours, and then I no longer qualified for my check, I was pissed. It's like, this is BS. I'll show you, YouTube. And I went crazy. And I used to post on Facebook all the time, and then all my family unfriended me, you know? So I don't post on Facebook hardly ever. I also, let me talk about this. I also do not watch television. Some of you might be saying, I don't have time for YouTube. YouTube's going to take forever. That guy outsources. I don't like him. You know, how much time do you spend matching colors on your iPhone or watching TV? You know, that's what I tell my subscribers. That's not an excuse. I don't watch TV hardly ever. I'm way behind all my superhero movies, like I was telling Jared. I'm way behind. I haven't even seen Aquaman. Haven't even seen Creed 2. I'm way, way, way behind. And yes, I do know what happens in Endgame, okay? I know. Spoiler alert, Iron Man dies. So, so to answer your question, let's go back to your question. Sorry I deviated. What is my goal? My goal is 100,000 subscribers, and I've done the math. At my current CPM, I will get approximately $36,000 a year at 100,000 subscribers. And at 10,000 subscribers, because I haven't really monetized my audience up to this point. Yes, I sell t-shirts. Yes, I have a sponsor, but I haven't really gone for the jugular in trying to get my audience to buy stuff. I have a Patreon. I don't talk about my Patreon. I don't have anyone that's signed up for my Patreon because they don't even know about it. I have not looked to monetize my audience yet. At some point, I'm going to come up with something to promote for them to actually buy. I don't even get them to buy my book. I mentioned in a couple of my videos, I don't care. I did the book for credibility because at one point I wanted to be a professional speaker. That's the only reason why I created the book. I thought about making a channel specifically for innovation because the title of the book is The Official Book of Innovation. I had the audacity to call my book The Official Book of Innovation because all the books on the market sucked. You know? And I wanted to speak on the topic of innovation. But when I think about making a channel about innovation, I want to throw up because I'm not interested in making videos about innovation. So that's just me. But again, to answer your question, ultimately, yes, I would like to leave my 9 to 5 and do this exclusively. And would I change my schedule instead of doing 3 videos a week? Maybe. Would I go back to daily? No. Absolutely not. It was way too much for me. Any other questions?
Yeah, 2. Do you have a newsletter, and are you doing your content that you do on YouTube, are you duplicating that onto your website?
No. I have a website. It's arizonaliving.info. There is a section where you can play YouTube videos, but it's like an automatic thing. To answer your question, if I have an email list, problem with my email list is on my channel, I had a form that people can sign up to give me their email address for a newsletter that doesn't exist. The problem with that was there wasn't a double opt-in. So I got a whole bunch of spam emails, which are junk. So it serves me no purpose whatsoever. So I have a bogus email list that I can't contact. Eventually, will I look to do that? Yes, eventually. Any other questions?
You said you have TubeBuddy installed?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
like a plugin for your browser?
Yes, TubeBuddy, you go to tubebuddy.com. It is a Chrome extension, Chrome, the browser. And again, what TubeBuddy does, it works on Firefox as well. What it does, and it works on Mac and PC, it basically tells you where your videos are ranking for keywords. And it gives you suggestions on what additional keywords you can use. And another thing I didn't mention about morning fame, the reason why I do my videos Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays is because that's what morning fame suggested to me based on all the tests. Like I was putting out videos 7 days a week. It told me, based on your audience, you should post your videos, Sam, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. The experts always said post videos on Sunday. See, I test. What they said did not apply for my audience.
Another question. Oh, you mentioned a few things that you outsource. What are the top 3 things you've outsourced?
I outsource my thumbnails, my banner, and custom music. I have music videos on my channel. That's right. One video I actually sang, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And so I went and I had someone from India try to mix it, so to speak, to make it sound better. It sounded worse. So I do a lot of music on my vegan recipe review videos. I actually had a custom song at the end that I thought was awesome. So I outsourced that as well. Primarily, I would say is those things, but what I'm looking to do is get someone like kind of like a dedicated virtual assistant to help me with the marketing stuff that I don't have time for. Kind of like recreating my channel on Pinterest. That's just an example. There's like a whole list of things I want them to do. Like actually go back and look at my previous videos prior to me doing proper keyword research and changing it so it is using proper keyword research. You know, so that way I could get more traffic for my older videos. Because YouTube, believe it or not, it looks, for the first 24 hours, YouTube will promote the hell out of your current video. And if it sees that the CTR is not good, remember the click-through rate, if it sees that people are dropping off before the 50% mark, it'll stop promoting it. But it will still promote your old videos. Not as hard, but it still does promote your old videos. That's how my 4th video ever has almost 60,000 views. Reasons why I hate Arizona. I renamed it. It's not called that no more. But the content's still there. You guys can hear why I hated Arizona. Any other questions?
What's the main income source that you're making money from?
Great question. AdSense and my sponsorship. My sponsorship, we have an NDA, so I can't disclose specifics. But with AdSense, I do all right. Pretty much every month I hit $100 at least. It depends. I also make a little bit of money on. 100 from AdSense, at least, minimum. Because they don't send you a check otherwise. You have to hit 100 minimum, or else Google won't send you a check. And there have been a couple times leading up to where I am now that I didn't hit $100 that month. It was like $98, and I was pissed off. So I was like, son of a bitch. And then they go and they send me, the following month I hit 100, and then they would send me $198. Now, the way it works for me, talking about money, moolah, on the 11th is the cutoff for me. That's when I find out how much my check is going to be for the month, on the 11th. On the 21st is when Google deposits it in my check, in my checking account, I should say. And then at the end of the year, they send me like a 1099. They tell me how much they paid me for the year, and that's what I give my accountant, along with all my expenses. Okay, Uncle Sam, I'm doing it legit.
So are they taking taxes on it then, or no?
They do not. No.
1099 you said that. My other question was, you said something about monetizing your viewers, but I don't know what
That basically means trying to sell them.
there was a word that you said, I don't do something.
Oh, no, it's Patreon. Patreon is a third-party website, and YouTube is trying to emulate that, where your subscribers can support you financially. So with Patreon, I could basically come up with, let's just say, videos that I don't put on my regular channel, exclusive videos, secret videos that I would never post on YouTube. I could put on my Patreon site, and then people pay me, let's say, $5 a month. And if I have enough of people that like my content to want to support me, then that would help significantly. Because unfortunately, AdSense is not something you could depend on. And you got to have a ton of views to make anything with AdSense, a ton. So it's not something I want to depend on. So, which is why I would look into Patreon once I'm ready to really monetize the audience. And I don't mean to say monetize like in a negative Donald Trump sort of way. I mean monetize so that I could actually have more time to make good content. Because as you've heard, I don't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on this in relationship to what else I have going on in my life. You know, if I had to say how many hours, which I know is the next question, see? I would say, unlike my friend Jeremy, who's not here, Jeremy, where are you, buddy? You said you'd be here, Jeremy. You hurt my feelings. He was the last speaker. He spends crazy amounts of time, and his results are off the charts because of the amount of time he spends. I don't do all that. You know, I'm not going to get up at 1 in the morning, record 5 videos every day. That's not me. I'm not doing that. So where was I going with all this? Oh, the investment of time. How many hours? I would say I spend maybe 10 hours a week, maybe. And again, if I was driving for Uber 10 hours a week, I'd be making a hell of a lot more than $150, you know? Maybe $200. I don't know. I don't know how much Uber drivers get. Go ahead.
How cartoon-wise do you feel about your YouTube success? Do you want to keep going, or is just wanting to do with it really?
That's my 5-minute warning. This is the last question. I got to give it back to Sheri. So I'm very respectful of time. Okay. Sorry about that. So cartoon wife, how does she feel? Well, she's very, very, very shy. And she has gradually learned to support me, you know. At first she was like, you're crazy, because I upset her all the time. In really awkward moments, I'll whip out my phone and start recording myself. Like in awkward moments, I'll be standing in line in Costco with people behind me. So look at what I found at Costco today, you know. And I take all these snippets and I record videos. Like I was just out to dinner in New York last night with someone who's like my boss's boss. And in the middle of dinner, I'm whipping out the phone. Check out the pizza. Look how greasy it is, you know. And so I don't care. That's just who I am. So my wife originally wasn't on board. Now she's kind of proud of me. She won't admit it. I think she's a little proud of me that I'm actually getting some success out of it. And she talks me up sometimes. But she'll never be on the show Unmasked. She's like the Masked Singer, but you'll never get to see what she looks like. And with that, I guess that's that. We're going to close it. I'm going to give it back to Sheri. Thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. If you have any other questions for Sam, we still have like 10 minutes before they'll scream.